Aduasa insia tenase de agreement some Abraham kopem sa dumie no but thank God it's Friday and na yefiada tenase je sa dumie no na ye be sorry gabi tama di kan kra be tenase dada oboabo amane ne nkomo no dodo na ano a ode ebrenyen na ono ni wie ni de na de fisam abewie dwumadie no atimi adi Abraham timi so join live our YouTube Nhyira TV oba o subscribe na waja message no ho gabi tram de kwam ne ba ya be kan do na atimi adi amamo awo show no so nti YouTube Nhyira TV na o subscribe ebra anytime bia na yetenasia obenya message say Nhyira passport team no ya tenasia de agodi mu nsam no ede ba ya chiamo na ya damase say anopema choose Nhyira passports na de tenese ne nkomo no anya asem ketwa kra nkomo e free spain ba na anya asem ketwa na de tie ne yes problem kakra ho between around one Porter and Openi Florentino Perez our president edema Real Madrid and any reporter a free Spain adeba na de say akofa problem ne dia ba no garuchuram ebetenase no boboy san komo no Lionel Messi so ye nanim se Barcelona de I mean he's a legend na enche na presidential election de bekoso aw Barcelona na anani yesele Lionel Messi no yeso ompe one Laporta so obesa be president bim ediama aye Barcelona and so reason wo sa reason the story behind the story no gabi twa mbabo amane ada no pe Zabi Alonso say nyamianim ne ho adwene kakra se Abrante FS Vinicius Junior ade apology letter abechire wiase na so wo pe wiase dina achew na letter ni mu no wa muni din ewom ade so esi yi aye onu no mompa na kamia say wan sheda amfa bu amfa man nti wo se ebro ko hu letter ni din enso enim no in fact amano I surprise kakra and also ya the sound komo no e de bramo Liverpool so omo coach Anslot e de komo pi akasa de afa injury update and also etifo ye babo mo komo awo eye adwumadie so na ye ba fia enchei adna Albert Amoa koma sa Sante Cross striker omuja Branty kwanso nkusia kan ama aye Ali Benghazi of aye Libya na Branty baka ofri Accra get Olympus na a journey aye Kotoko na according to Olubo Commodore also omodi Branty na Kotoko no omo ye nhihye bi se koduru bi na Kotoko ton Branty no adena ama team fufura also Olympus enya kakra ta efa bi na omo so tafre ebesi nne unfortunately Kotoko mo mama ne na nkomo ta efa omo so abeje e de ayo omo lai na anonso yakoba na yabedi san community na awo ayesho so Ghana Premier League week 8 nyame yadoma na Bechem United and Nations coach performance for the first game at the ama aye Nations FC and afi on Sunday Asante Kotoko ebo aye Kawila after so mo exit aye Africa no Basic Holy Stars as we tenafi no mo atwen aye Hasbrook this and many more ni na ne befia yabecheche adwen etimi edi afound 939 in Shawans 4.5 child in the Gabi Tram Gabi the foreigner Abrante dia kwamne na afi amene nim 70 na no wetimi edi Abrante good morning yen kwamne nimra
amuzu garlic bitters mamoja di afrusani yi blood pressure any
me pe improve no the way I would describe it Chelsea
Red Card FC see Chelsea no crowd dem twam Red Card FC menti ase coach je na players je ayala me dem me smell something fishy o
za
menti ase
team ni twa better na
sa na eya me because you on say the man dey near a sound weird ni say according to Oman coach Mayeska I said the lab D first yellow card no.
Okay, chair.
I know friends chairman.
Calm down.
Yeah, what today? Ye di there be a Richard Dimitri if you say. Chance the idea will give you a better red card. To me so and then kwan ye. Be a clean sheet. I say me. When you cast a major red card, we had the major red card. Not the lap of red card. Just if one day, red card FC, a day. Namusu wolves and rat. A Juma me yell or groundsy. No man coffee abashemu to.
Rich. Na Nhyira Carabao Cup. Enti you best start analysis no. Eddie Efio. Me principle near. And yet one of those cups I rate.
Okay.
You rate. A competition here for me. Just an outlet for English clubs, you know, to win something. If we say many fee America about cup, no, me a lot of coaches are almost competition, you know, with a lot of seriousness. And menka omwa omone Carabao Cup and making a serious case. I will season him. But once it's a competition that we play, they are and want some career as a sports analyst, we will go into it. So let's start from Nhyira. Arsenal against Brighton. Meaning past that games, you know, were being played almost at the same time. And you be an Kunya share all the games. Mimi say I was flipping. And they said the first day of TV room, show you 15 minutes kaka, no show you kaka. You have an appreciation of their games in the senior will be airborne. No, Rich. I saw the Arsenal lineup, and I'm catching him and say, look, Arsenal team way this season competition be a move be an the momentum engine. Rich now your one momentum engine. Because they've built a squad that is able to rotate among themselves and still be competitive. Look at the Arsenal team that played yesterday. Brighton found it very, very difficult to play against them. Now, Rich, we are still in October. In the month of October, Rich, Arsenal bought 6 games. Oma winning now. Oma 12 goals. Oma conceded about Mpo.
As a defense, they are solid.
And Nhyira, according to Opta, they are the first English team to do that in 1 month. If we say English football, why? Obia Yebida. Not the great Manchester United under Fergie. Not the great Man City under Pep Guardiola. Not the great Chelsea under Jose Mourinho. And in 1 month, about 6 games across competitions. Now, obessioning Rich, no one consider 1 goal, not a single one. And these are the games, Rich. Oshe Olympiacos 2-0. And Oshe West Ham 2-0. And Oshe Fulham away 1-0. And Oshe Atletico Madrid 4-0. And Oshe Crystal Palace 1 and then Oshe Brighton 2. Now, me graphic way no. Rich, and yet numbers in the Kumu, but the 0-0-0-0-0-0 now, and one for Arsenal. They've been a very, very solid team. Not just scoring goals, but Rich, to win tournaments, you need a solid defense. And when I had the bedrock, say over to me, Ako and him, our competition be more. And Arsenal right now looks like some invincible team here. And Kenny. So the ball to Martinum. Now, Rich, look at the teams. And look at where the games are being played. And yet teams will bring a bit in Cottage against Fulham. Now unconsidered.
It's a London derby.
Yes. How many teams na Baba Atletico Madrid?
Now it's all Muncho.
With William Alvarez, money, soul of money, Antoine Griezmann, and not concede. This current Crystal Palace team, actually Liverpool no move. You play against them, you not concede, and you play against Brighton. Say Arsenal to Emirates in the Champions League. Now one concede against Olympiacos, I don't have a problem. Emirates, no one concede against West Ham, I don't have a problem. But they've gone and played games here if you know the nature of the team boy, you know, and where it was played at, Rich, you would have suspected that Arsenal will concede. But Bob Akumpo and to Omatinemu in October, and that is very, very good for Arsenal. Now, Rich, talking about the squad in depth. When we say Enra, Rich, this was Arsenal's bench. David Raya, Gabriel Magalhaes, Julian Timber, Ricardo Calafiori, Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi, Bukayo Saka, Leandro Trossard, Victor Gyökeres.
On to bench.
And that's a bench in here. The team no first 11 no. At the bench, and then it's even without players on my prepare. This Captain Martin Odegaard Muniade. All these players were on the bench for Arsenal. That is how deep our squad no a year this season, and why they are able to compete very, very well. Rich, I could call the Shebe Kumako. Now, the air to Liverpool, no, Areho and SSR. Rich, in the last 3 months, Crystal Palace actually Liverpool at Twaso Miensa across different competitions. Odikachi, August 10th, Community Shield, and Ochano, penalties. Owieno Bechi the 27th of September in the Premier League, and was shared 2-1. That was Selhurst Park.
Satam Nana Liverpool competing.
Yes.
And the Crystal Palace is saying.
Yes.
Wow.
And I see what happened on the 29th of October in the EFL, and we're trying to train there at Anfield. And the 3 solid wins in a row across 3 different competitions. So say Liverpool in the Anna slot, you know, almost show Oliver Glass na motuum. The open or do you mo ti bokungun say ya. Tembi opebiano wa hetium. Tembi opebiano wa hetium. Now, Rich, the result is known, but it is not a Crystal Palace problem. Which you extend it further. Now, what you have to say, Liverpool are in crisis when you see BBC say, which the last 7 games are Liverpool abono. Which almost 6. This Liverpool team, I almost started season, you know, winning every game. Now in their last 7, almost maku 6 of them. 3-0 against Crystal Palace. 3-2 against Brentford. The only game they've won was 5-1 against Eintracht Frankfurt. Manchester could show me 2-1, Chelsea show me 2-1, Galatasaray show me 1-0, then Crystal Palace again. Rich, Liverpool, Obi can come here and do that. Said this Liverpool team, the way almost started season way, will go 7 games and they'll win only 1.
McCarthy, after entering Frankfurt, win 5, no.
You thought
you were back. Until almost about Brentford on losing game.
Yes.
And I was like,
there's
something wrong.
Okay, probably I do so. Then they go again.
Now Crystal Palace has such a
3-0. The results is embarrassed, and it was at the Anfield. Now we go back to Liverpool lineup for the start here. Rich, then Obia Otie Shapo Sports Biano. It takes us back to the transfer season. Mese Mekaipa, when we posted the analysis after a year live show on the weekend, but you Liverpool fans now. Almost so many young doing that. Say I can say team no, the squad nimunye do enough, and that they need to plug some holes. You can't spend this amount of money, and your team doesn't look deep. Giddy. Now, Rich, this was Liverpool's team and Woodman, Gomez, Endo Atara, Kirkic, McAllister, Chiesa, Robertson, Nioni, Ramsey, Morrison, Ngomoa. Na enyamina miko. Yebo game ni wiye no. Then Anna Slot is back with their transfer discussion and here discuss. Rich, Liverpool spent 446 million. Breaking the record and all Chelsea Nikuta in the summer transfer. 446 million. That is after adding Isaac. Rich, Nasi mu coach Ebo EFL Cup we are. Nana Asam say, and I'm sure you've seen the quote. Or say, answer no static ball. Or share Manchester City line up the buy no. And who say City actually give the players now on ball last weekend in the Premier League. Omu nyina Bobby. Next so omu ball last weekend in nyina Bobby no. And now Usha City line up now. At the say omu first level now.
Oh, that's the one.
I see you over Chelsea money at the crowd here. Nese Asano cry Diego. So what Anaslot is saying, and an extension of Nasima Okan, or say, it is clear in the last few weeks, we have always had to play 2 days after we played the last game after a difficult game in Europe. If you look at the week coming up, that is going to be a big week for us. Everyone and the club, we need as many players available as we can. We can see today with the lineup I had to make. That shows you. We already have a few injuries. With a big week coming up for me, it felt the best choice. Also, the squad no one more. Also, injuries kakara. And also big games ever. And see, here for one no kwani ya many me a free thing in Liverpool tradition and say omo the academy boys be play na ebo nti only choice than to select South squad na ya boss say omo no mko game no nti if he has lost and no kwani ya many me rich say oh you fair to Anaslota o share the lineup no na the toto Oliver Glass na Diana he took the game serious because Obia winning say oh yeah available a big boy for Crystal Palace played yesterday. Including Sano said 2 goals. No,
Sano had the Liverpool end.
No.
Liverpool be over.
Mateta played. Gueye played.
The days I think Watford or so.
No,
sure. Must
Still no, sure. Yes. And she Rich Liverpool coach, you know, now agree with us. Say the squad will do enough. Then the question you ask and say, if you were the biggest spender around Europe, let's say. Because of squad didn't deep enough. Then why did you spend the money? I think you know.
So I'm telling you anymore.
Don't get no do.
Yes, you.
To Isaac unko Isaac wo.
Because I never told Isaac. There's no need over Sakofa Ekitiki.
Get it.
It is when Ekitiki there. My Isaac in train baby.
Defensive Salamone. Oh. He could have been.
Because Gapo say this is your form power.
Oh, Gapo has always been
form power.
And Louis has scored a quaddy. I'm not why not you say this is never anything. I will play it well.
There's no need for to play me.
See, on one okay. This time around, I have that.
Many friends say about.
Oh, so.
Oh,
you will come good. Rich. Enra, at a point in the game, now Crystal Palace fans of Marco Anfield. You are getting sacked in the morning. And see, me Liverpool no me busa say, is he getting sacked today? But we say ne.
I'm pee.
Koko enkra. Ano patu no akotro. Say baby Liverpool ko no sack ko nyam say, hey. It is too early. Aye. It is too early.
The chairman koko enkra.
Aye.
Me boss ba ko.
So no club. Or a club person.
Yeah.
And see, and I slot today on said I'm feeling giddy. Yeah. And see, that is the story of Tima. You find it Liverpool. Rich. And so I'm the phone what they could share first goal. I'm to know where the tries of Wasianka won. We be back to Abedi. But Mekai when City LOC on my last Premier League game against Aston Villa. Medisa graphic way by the catcher say City is turning too much into a one-man team. Ellen Haaland. And statistics ni there they say Rich so why she go na obiara ntimi she goals ni biem and that must change quickly if the Manchester City be say omo contenders are. And Enra, I was happy there were other people who have taken the man to say also must have some more goals in the at the Manchester City. And after conceding first goal, no, Jeremy Doku taker, Omar Marmoush back from injury, Ebe Shea, and Ryan Cherky, and so Ebe Shea. Again, Rich. So Utie Pep Guardiola. Pep say, still now, Okushia teams are. They still play low block, deep block against them. And so when your players are almost how to unlock those tiny spaces last year, and I am on a brain. Rich, that is the reason why Pep had to top players be said Ryan Cherky, but they were injured. And Enra, when he was back, Obiang will say these are the reasons why. We are friend Pep Guardiola spent money on a bright friend Ryan Cherky, super player. Me Obia under pressure or your arrogance, Rich Aquawi, or you're very arrogant under pressure. What the boy the man as on Obia as a training as on book Obia Akebia. The person of the born here and one of person of the born here, even when you are coming at him and all that, he's a special player. Onyam exploding your city. But any other games I want born, HSS or fit in Quadia, he will help the way and conform more against City, and unlock. And City didn't have a problem. Almost so I pay away team friend Swansea and Pep say, oh, you're very impressed, especially some more attack against 10 players or good bonachi and the way they were able to find the spaces against Omo. Now to the Chelsea game. Look. Maka actually some Chelsea friends or me now before say Rich so we Chelsea team this CI say ewa team ne squad ni okay emu do kama but squad no mu do no a lot of young players that will need time and consistency to be the powerhouse power in Chelsea no. And see Chelsea situation no more this year no. Rich a suity competition with say. That is the reason why Chelsea without a blink winning the Conference League no. The competition and confirm time for the serious. Now a bit have to delve deep into their squad to player. And the Chelsea have the upper hand. Because Rich on crowd beer more potential. Omunya body bi pombo and it's a Carabao Cup basana Maraska na any day. Now Enra, look at Chelsea's lineup. Say over team we gidi pa Rich. When on a good day Obia fit for Chelsea or best starting. None of these players. Yeah. So Obia fit pa. None of these players are the best starting. Because Omo bet me make a case for them will be Malo Gusto. Will be a fit and James will start. Apart from that, William. And see, Chelsea are able to change almost in the team and give these young players the opportunity to play in the Carabao Cup. And see, any French tournament piano, Rich, Chelsea are one of the favorites. Because big boys. So big boys in there. Then about backups and them crowd team. Chelsea have probably the best in Europe. And this squad was good enough. My only problem is that they consider 3 against Wolves, which is something they must work against now Omuntimi and dealing with that issue. No? Enzo Maresca say it is becoming embarrassing. Say team no enye twin discipline no mu di cards na say na o kana o say dilap e say obobo ne man ho dodo enti even when you give him instructions so park no so go dia ontie what is around him na enye sa dia and Karenka no odi on say because time odi yellow no or catch no.
Nhyira fan.
Rich is not good. Apart from the lab record no odi Mati say one of Chelsea media guys saw more BBC, you know, so Eka said this weekend against Tottenham, I think Kukuera also, and she is suspended for accumulated cards. Now, over Chelsea team needs to see more now, and they will need the lap our back in that game because João Pedro will say article. I think we're about 8 games on share. And you could have offered alternative. Because Tariq George money and them there, they are for other competitions. Also, by I know about the red.
It's becoming one too many.
Too much. And also, Otimia addressing Samatani, but Chelsea won, and that is what is important. To reach quarterfinals in the Carabao Cup, Naseti, Arsenal against Crystal Palace, Cardiff, about Chelsea, Man City, about Brentford, and Newcastle, and so about Fulham, in the next stage of the Carabao Cup. Now you are
okay. Before baby, you know, Frank OY on YouTube will say, Ansort is just giving flimsy excuses for his poor managerial decisions to oversee big spending. Yet, made this post-match comment shows he wouldn't last long.
Like. To a larger extent,
to
a larger extent, I agree with him.
Okay.
Especially when you were backed. Team now, who the Agile League you already know, who the Agile League, and they still backed you.
To 2 players at the same
buy players so that we can have a sustainable team that will be consistent. I bet me, I keep it team enough for the future. Which PJ Ekans asked him with the Biameka. PJ say, so we are Juma. Not the other our bosses the Mawa. Let us almost pop on. Because see the animal area, you can't go back and say
90.
You get it.
Who much is giving matches as well?
No see him from the amount. And that is what the Bakona the message in the Bible person.
Also Basidua. Air conning you.
Also, my children type ya.
Yeah, be our hammer.
Also, pay ya.
So, home result.
It becomes a problem. It is a Yamusika to beat any team in Europe on a transfer market. Now, the country say, oh, squad in more. Then what did you? Where did you spend the money?
Okay.
And see, I agree with Eddie Pacrono. Wait, Minister na Vinicius is here show them right. Because just as we step out of the studio. I don't know apology to buy. Now, as some of Vinicius I can say, today, I want to apologize to all the Madridistas for my reaction when I was substituted in the Clasico. Just as I have already done in person during today's training. I also want to apologize again to my teammates, the club, and the presidents. Now, Rich, I'm going to say a fiachi in the abofono. But this apology by from all the international platforms, what they were discussing, they say there is something missing from the apology, and that is the name of the coach. Even when I was listening to Sky breaking the news, they mentioned it. So, oh, Vinicius in the apology about read it and said, but Omujidi said there is a big omission. Bibi Ayirefrimu, which is the name of the coach. Into it, I was worried too. Say, oh, Vinicius, I chop the only bar, Friwakumem, and let it be whole. Maning, and payo. Rich, say no beyond this. He has done a lot too. And it is being reported by AS Dario. The front page of Omunus Pupani and Net. I say, plan the pace. The peace plan. And so already this Spanish caption now on my front page now. The omo so much change and say Rich. A brand here for the Vinicius Junior has met the coach Xabi Alonso. Wa panachaw. And o catch Xabi Alonso say o say no on fan channel na enyo no the way na game ni see connect tension and the game and the way he wanted to win the game for Real Madrid no. And then ma and yamon sem na oye and that it will not happen again. Enti onfa encheno enti beyond the public apology which Nhyira recognize say there was an omission of the coach, you know, Rich. At least Dario AS is giving us information say, oh, that omission has been sorted and that Vinicius Eschia Xabi Alonso were panacho personally and Wakata say a BNCBM. And that issue is off. But Rich, and I'm a boss, and I'll repeat it. What should Xabi Alonso do again for the Real Madrid players to appreciate him? Rich, any football, when we are discussing football, what is the benchmark to say, oh, Obi is on the right track and Oyade, and the results of the game? Now, since Xabi Alonso by, Rich, he is the first coach to win the first El Clasico since Zidane in 2016. Since Zidane, 2016. Any Madrid coach you want to be a first Clasico, oh yeah, they must run the show. But Xabi Alonso has broken that. And yeah, but I am very, very significant. Rich, in the Spanish La Liga, Alonso about 13 games. Washimu 12. As a 30 goals, and he's on top of the league with 27 points. And then Rich, you go to the Champions League, and there's a open team, sir. Senkenene Kiambo group stages never qualify automatically. Rich, Real Madrid is right place fifth, and the fifth is because of goal defense. But the open Omabo 3 games, winning Rich, Real Madrid account 3 games, 9 goals, goal difference of +7. And see, Machame first Clasico made the top of La Liga, made the top, and as I make that top in the Champions League, 100% record in the Champions League. Rich, and Kasem made him. So why were Athletic pick a source from Spain and say Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid revolution has caused an early rift with big stars? To the extent say players in the sources are telling journalists say no I got me yesterday and I don't go just or Pep Guardiola and no buying a chin train. Young gym side time way player be a 1 to be Kebiano and they can who say team no on home player be a wine way and a wine way and I'm a permitting say my dear me pretty say Ancelotti one way in there papa you con what time you and could do come on we do buy wine so a disciplinarian Munye way we are new we are into my big players singing look and media come say Rich, do you know so already Athletic article now? They are saying, say, some of the big players are saying they've won trophies without this strict regime now. Xabi Alonso, they matter. But Rich, if you've won trophies in the past, why was Carlo Ancelotti sacked then? It means that they're now more, probably a elastic limit, and you need a certain change. And as soon as Real Madrid players in the better say, Rich, they are inflict the big rubber so the team. Sir, efficiency, work rate. Exactly what Xabi Alonso is trying to introduce our Real Madrid. No, Sankomoda should say at Ancelotti era anymore. They will never beat this Barcelona team, and they will never win anything. Abroad, and we might change. And see, I'm finding it difficult to understand. And Rich say, I no crack. Says I Real Madrid players no a bimu behavior. Rich, I don't want you to pay the only two things. It is either they succumb to Alonso or Alonso will leave. Because you're discussing about player power. Rich said, dressing room one. So.
Sure, your number one account. Radio station, the Santaman, Aji Edia Tumini, yes, Samanas. In fact, and matches Kaka, and on answer Danya Big One Sabata, one person Mukofika 70 there, and Jamube to me Eddie Jumakaka, who called German Bundesliga, Gamer Etotano, and we are Numen on song, our best Semana Jassa, and so Abba Permo, Borussia Dortmund Bobokono, Wamo and Osberg, and DCN, and Afe Uko Ayespena, Lali Gobenya Hetefe Bobokono, and no I am Numen on a Womani Jeruna and the DCN in Tiwaya Matisa Etoja, Uba Englander, and also FA Cup and the game back Ubetoja, Adia Forest Green, Womo and Lutin, and the DCN in T, where notable matches Libya, Abetoja, Confirm so, and the Nano Pe Makache Kakra, Adamana, Yahweh and Sama, at 21 Confirm so, not Messa said the FP as Jakate, Marco Varate. And so akasa na ebrebi atwam na variety siakan e di ema PH Bobokono na ano na brante na kasa esa sentro for Koteno ano mbisa say sia PH Bobokono wo ma team UEFA Champions League e di esi o na so without killing Mbappe wo baka say bia Mbappe ekoye no na aboma PH Bobokono etimadi Champions League na ano cheso nyame anim ne say obi kan say in fact woni oni ko no anya adwekwa esa say killing Mbappe anya hwekwa no woni PH akoya semi final ama bibia ya kama bo na wo boy edema PH nyame anim ne anya ho so abana teso twae no anka ba ne Champions League padia anka anya Madrid anka se killing Mbappe anya omokokodi aye UEFA Champions League anka se woni PH enso timi tibi kwa ansana wo be free PH enso akwa watimi akonti wonde ofi se ayade a amwa brantedi ye kwa anom ayankoba kakwa so a ene Marco Verratti adi eba ewo dumade so na no peno make check akwa adiama ewe ensisha wodo so na make Barcelona ekodi nkoma kakwa nyame anim se okọ Barca team no a players no bebere prepare na meti aye ranking bi adiaba enu ye players a mika se empempe dodo a omo so prepare from other clubs na make kan nyina de ese ne okọ Barcelona team no sisi a make se aye about 6 players and omo nyina prepare Lamine Yamal pra Dani Olmo pra Frankie de Jong pra Robert Lewandowski swapper and a Ferran Torres swapper Makani tested and swapper but okay can nyina boma yes team biano and this season 2025-2026 season team biano number of injuries ha womu enya ye kan number of injuries na pato enye player dodo mepa emom no injuries dodo menya eti player bi wo ha we play 3 times obi wo ha ni de ne 2 times na yes team a olidi City Boboko no 15 times ana City team no one players no that's what paper this season afi uko Barcelona 14 times uko Chelsea 14 times Arsenal ni Juve 10 times ubenya Madrid ana Liverpool ni PSG 9 times ana afi team and dinade Bayern Munich no 8 times in T where notable big clubs are me pato reporter Mensaka and say womu players so me paper and nano pe make check akwa adi ama wanchia hudo na so now yentoro akwa na fe yenko madida katena yenko din koma kakwa reporter Mensaka say once we Madrid womu game womu any Liverpool na ebebo no anso UEFA Champions League game say total reporter Mensaka say yesi Madrid for na your Madrid say impose game no mbebo nyame anim ni anya de so kwako training ewo Anfield ho Anfield party omu training emom a day before so mbeko Anfield no won be training ewo Madrid omo enso fi of the Babas esan say Tuesday ana sa game ne eba so enti ansa na Tuesday game ne beba so there enkofo ne chese won be di kai training ewo Madrid ansa no mbe fly enso akwa wo ma fly akọ enti anwume ndo mo kwa wo mo kwa akoda adwojo mo ho anya de say wo mo kwa training bia enso Anfield ansa na ade tia game no so
ebetumi abaso eno ye diamete from Madrid akate na no pe me pete kakra ediamana coach ba ko madida we the same thing na Jose Mourinho yes Mourinho time where saade ni bi wobekwa enya de so obekwa ko training no enom oye ni ofie ansana watumi akọ se na be ya ne tatis ni bibia no no nso ebetumi ye de asie ene ye reporter meti ewo dwumade so but uko Brazil se Brazil no in fact omo cups ne ya de ye pa eno da anambeka to se uko Flamingo boboko na woma ye dwuma ye pa amata se uko Copa Libertadores woma qualify akofana eno da Brazilian club bako anso etimi ejinamo in fact omo ne Ecuador team ne din ade Liga ayadi Quito and this year ne anum game ni panawi na tasa Palmeiras boboko no at Liga de Quito abom ntramiasa abom qualify Copa Libertadores battle final and we two Brazilian clubs and yenya Copa Libertadores ho yebenya Flamengo na yenya team and din ade Palmeiras boboko no wo nyina FIFA Club World Cup adjustment to say Brazil ne de ho anso ayakama and yankoba kakwa so efi peso ade ba awo dwumade so na no pay make kire ade ma na me kodufe na me kodi dwuma kakra another mekato so Luciano Spalletti Juve for the aduma no ebenyama no another omunyanti aduma no ade mo pay no na reporter men saka ayese yesi negotiations so many opinion ayaya Monday to media man yese the next UEFA Champions League no we pay on hell na one form qualify we to media mo qualify aye 1 year contract and no media man better or options so betime PMO and so adeko 2027 until Luciano Spalletti me pattern the target 1 ayese on build the team and also foundation near kama at a stable project and near 1 at so media man no number 2 ayese team no so mo na first no the next UEFA Champions League no wetimi so drama qualify na anu so ya kama ediamamo ani a reporter mensaka other request I see ediamano say onya the recognitions for certain players yes players be our team no in fact wo mo to mo jo mo buy no wo mo say the ehwo mo so fa so but wo say players no enim bobo ye pa ani abanta the copy millions aka ho ada say TV fantasy mu nyina ho openda anso aka ho mu nyina no kind of players Cattle Luciano Spalletti say woman manta no mo born nya kama ni nyina tene matese wo mo so mo hia new sporting director anti obako ene opanya ni de Marco Otoleni enso akwa kasa atese wo hede wa ade ma si kwa yeso opanya ni de Marco Otoleni wo be free January na onya free January pena wo ba be yeduma no sporting director do ade ma tu fe boboko no anti anu ye dia e free tu vakati ade ba reporter mensaka say ene kwanko bi so womo anso ene Marco Otoleni ebetimesa na womo ni siawe na face o ma with the stand of kwan betimi de open no anso atimi afaso no reporter mensa ekane na another Manchester United omo head coach no Ruben Amorim ganti interview kaka na Amorim makasa pe Amorim chese aduma ne de bibia koye ene ma nyina kama ade ma narrative no se asesa ye bisanso open obenya akwana no so sa na no dana mubisa me asam na anka different better na ya mubisa obi ama we ne matches ato so 3 times we di asam na mu ba be ka biem aduma na ekoye edema Manchester United now and to reporter mesaka say Ruben Amorim say since the journey so far and ma ya kama edema no those wenya ne ups and downs the bad moment and the good moment ni nyina wenya bibia enough ho kwan ya obefa so betuma sticking to kwan ya team and team ade Manchester United ebetumi afa ne ntoma pa enso afa entiade ya de nani enso ade hu ye pa ne reporter me pato pe na de tuja na owie no chese o players bi wo ha o meba bibrem ha ba besia kan ene ya wunim se ade se ya kwa AFCON na South Kono ye benya banter ne dine ade Amantialo ata se wo betwen ne aye ne club ana se o mai osia kan de mo na afa ban mbiem nso no wono so beba aye AFCON na ano no pay ni chase sa two players no ebe ha Manchester United ye pa no ne ade a wodwene hu ye party no so enkoba kakwa so a openya ne team ade Ruben Amorim ade pa na no pay make kakra ade aba wan chi sawo so ne na we just section akasa Sakwesi we once maybe so because now we just section Anna was say invert ye be sans and for be sans or no kasa ne phone na e kwa no when no want to contact her or a famous person be na or the contact e with the phone so opeja the phone na so Cristiano Ronaldo so better men friend da invert Ronaldo no the contact also better men friend no ye nin komo and na say no man was so akeke about ne carry na tell say what so sidiem and so nankasa ne football big players on your Messia at say in a penalty shootout kwabna watch omo penalties in no sa game no omuluso and e bizanza one also oh say no Messi what Leo Messi penalty kwabna sa game no omuluso ye no ye goalkeeper afi what killing Mbappe penalty and so sa game no omuluso ye what Neymar penalty and so sa game no omuluso ye enti come here say am say Cristiano Ronaldo kwa ana on header any no and ni sadia no anti ano aye Barcelona wo mu goalkeeper reject section and koma kakọ di eba na no pay ye krete dia mana and na sentwadi ni bisa say si no oba Spain Catalonia no wetimi ka na who say niema ya kama head man na no so invert oba no aye person obebo so we say invert kwaanza obi asua kasa sabiu wade didi atam ne disua we say ono bad west no disua Catalonia kazada on bezo obebu so and when the team to them and we are no yama simple sa once de ni nyina enso when the team teno some kakranso we check there at the airport to media so na Michael Olise and some player adema Bayern Munich boboko no ma men kwa brant na katika kwa reporter men say ka munchen ye me baba catch am say in fact about the chances creation na me bebubo players bi so I say abase yen create chances a omudimo entintima pa but kwabna we no same chances creation better the caveat da ho and answer the underline no the big chances as a player be accurate the big chances a player be and so accurate reporter Mensaka say Michael Olise and LED this season there no over the top 5 major leagues now yes so paying them and LED Michael Olise 29 big chances creation after Rian Chake, Muhammad Salah, Anna Federico Aya Dimarco, Wamaye 18, Lami Yamaya 17. Me pato, and your chances will be a creative. Chances no marketing the big ones are a woman in a test and no panel, media on Kobaka, Eddie Adam with media so. Nico Liverpool couldn't come out. Yasi Jimmy Frempon, I said Jeremy Frempon, Yasa Bantana Kwakopla, na Ebe 6 weeks and Sana, Obama back on some Etimaba back, Abba kan edama Liverpool boboko no eno ye reporter Mensaka e wo dwumade so a ena no pe make check akra edama nan Scott Parker aye Burnley wo mu asu coach na kwabra Scott Parker say what it is be and some not to so a man for say Arsenal for benefited from set pieces come say Mikel Arteta in the team no so be say wa na so be bobo no bia who say wo ma bobo set pieces and Arteta so musu yusu no say nyame anim ne o here Arsenal game kwabna and set pieces asebo Arsenal be bow hell because o Arsenal game na Arsenal ebo no Arsenal bobo tumi sampa players no mayom and so ebobo ye pa in fact players no enim ball no ball wo mo chances on be create offensive player to player combination any kwere am fa so eto football na say no different about the defensive about attacking about the wings are edumon be ni nyina correspond and nyase bia Arsenal and the set pieces penal Arsenal team dia pan so one dey say Arsenal team no hu and there competing and tell no nkobaka kwan so a opanya ni there Scott Parker and the eba e wodumade so anopay meet yetire ediamana me call me yama na medi nkobaka kwa another I invite another kwa na me say akato say Lami Yama yase wanya groin injury na ne groin injury no ejina na yase yase ne say ne mienu ntemu osa no eba ayasabio baby a boss no won ha baby a pass ball kwabna yase ana problem ne ewo na yase yetu abantane for sanka be anka Lami Yama hwena on consider say obeye surgery esansem oya surgery na ana ebetimi abo ne ye pa but yase another school of thought and so I said Lami Yama come as a bantane I just to say ebia na tese surgery no one also any surgery because surgery be man atnache ateye panti and come person mo fan normal one na afi wo mo ha se ne hu betimi atono enti say na contemplating na branta ne one ne ntoraje ni nyina have ada so any surgery and say ebia won fa ne say ya na onborn farmer Barcelona bobo kwede no come kakwa so amete we dwumade so na no pa make kire enso ediama na yes this season upe player wabo so on target pa kwabna yes who ko Chelsea and Premier League no players ya bobo no yes you Enzo Fernandez yes shot on target there Cardinal or yeah Jubana pa 8 and Tessa Banter no and so etime to be said na Kamad man so Enzo Maresca one so any team and team come kakwa na Ronaldo Jr. Once we di kan abo Portugal under 15 kwabna another under 16 ansubo game na omani take na boy and Portugal for ebon tram you know and now reporter Mensaka as Ronaldo Jr. ansusia kan adema the Portuguese team the junior side no anti abante no yesa kodan so ni so we dey say na tesa kodan fa no na man fa says okay sir abante na say from the ranks am say niam no ebetimi abani pa because when your player obesa say from the juvenile Avrankisa abana waba the middle table no na afe waba the senior side na say osa say so obo na setiba witimi say star player ne ball no aye different and tamanfo ogidi say Ronaldo Jr. no am say ne ball na career na wasa sia o ko ne kakra no enti ahun koma kakra ne na sa story we menya boche na maye ne ye pa de ama because baso na farmu ntie ne ye pa na menim say ente ade na be deja kwabena when ma di kontia Say Fiorentino Perez Madrid woman president Anna Barcelona president openya ni din ade wan Laporta yase isi ado montamu wo yase agina ba ko person na yase Madrid for no e wedidi ya pa se Barcelona for no abitru omo kwabna de enti na Madrid e ka se Barca abitru omo kwabna starting from Nhyira cases no on se Madrid na di gina ma se wo mu wo face bi wo ha azo mu di matters ade ma Barcelona ana nwa asem ne data ana mad the four prepared dossier atase omo yes omo de kwa commenpin for atase omo so atimahwem ene refia ne dia de Nhyira ane baso na hunsem kwa last year in the month of September kwabna mad the four akate Barca for so hum person besu ombe pesu omo ne omo problem bia enti sa cases na omo prepared dossier nanka omo de commenpin for kwabna omo twentwe so enya de so mbe edi ache biem enti yes teams how and omo ye petition ni ade say afi sa Nhyira case no omo say ni eche na Madrid etwo mo hu efimu ane ya last year ano ba be do Dani Olmo ni registration kwabra Dani Olmo registration so no one say ebaya Barca for assembly copy court ni ade yes Fiorentino Perez or ye Madrid president and kasa for phone afrem pay for katom say omo hwe no mo register Dani Olmo ane Pau Victor say dey be Barcelona betimi ayusu sa players kwabna ansa Fiorentino Perez so de onya de enche na za adwempe wodi nyina ni tim nyina say yes sa one wan Laporta ko sia na one wan Laporta sia no enkomo ni benkomo mo ko ese on person mo kutia La Liga one person mukutia European Association no ana fe UEFA enti entokwa no against Xavier Tebas ana Alexander Sefrin ana afe abiasa openya ne dia na sa Kalafi kwabna we ni pamiasa Madrid ani Barcelona ko apam so person mu soliti obo enti ubaka ya tembia Xavier Tebas be kasa pe ube hu Fiorentino Perez ene ne Madrid no ma ba be kansam ube ya ne sa Barcelona for di bia ba be to so na tesa ma be ebe data ama Barcelona for kwa last season mo ho on be ka san comedy Xavier Tebas be kokot esan se wakwa liki omu info edi ama Atletico Club de Bilbao for ama won 70 be data say yes Barca and Madrid ana akosa pam kwa bna afa kwansi Madrid for say mo Barcelona for ye ni makosa agreement we nyina ana ye nyina wo Super League dum na Barcelona for fatire akọ UEFA for akọ tom say wo mu Super League ne kwa no sisi no mu yo mu afim na wo mu ni UEFA eba beka abom ana afa kwampo no wo mu ni UEFA sia no mu pese wo mu ni ombanya ntokwa bia bia kwa na Madrid de 40 no say eh Barca na biche na myansa na say anka no mu ye fine pa bibia banka no man na ba ne sia sisi ade mu yi e ho afa kwa na sa Barcelona for say Spotify come no busi no mu wie no wo mo nsa ese UEFA fo anim ti so man kokko UEFA na UEFA yo madwen so mo ni o abetwe tentira matches bi wo ho a o mutimi emmo no the new Spotify come no anti Barcelona fa yo madwen de esi ade o mo ni UEFA ebeko na akana ni nyina ti Madrid for so man pa ba ana Madrid ade petition ade kodan pay for court say anka o muntwa aye UEFA damage aye be 2 something billion say ade no wo Super League no me yes o me dey ba no o ma so o tam eno ye 2.5 billion euros eno ye petitioner man the fraud call say damage anka UEFA for entry from on because UEFA for so ma dade afe womo commercial sika yeso munya woma se no ana Super League na nka se ba so a sika yeso munya nya omo de ni nyina sem enti omo he na nka aja court nyi se sika ne fam omo kwabna obi a Barca ne Madrid akọ agreement no ya fra ba so na fa Barca so omo de se sika no omo mpe ebom se sika de nya de se wo metima di sika no e de afi UEFA eno na akọ for time sisi no e de aba openya ne din e de wan Laporta ana afe Madrid the president e Fiorentino Perez Tama Nansentem a classico tesa wala porta say even kwa press boss ho so be ko nkasa obere semum emum se go badia obe celebrate pato e wona nkomani nyina enso efiri a e ba sisi na Madrid for na efi se Barcelona enso ebituobo enso nkoma kakwa etodwane na Barca na nkasa wala porta no yesesa ne ho nsempa sabi yesi Messi adwano na Daniel election Barcelona election a ebeba so no yesi di pako obetimi edi side ama yenya the winner ayelo no Messi so Leo Messi tama oba be kono na yeso ne wan Laporta anya fine esense Laporta eba no na okatelo no Messi so wo ba oba control the sense edi ama no eti Messi nya botre kwa na wo ba ya na be katelo no Messi sa wo woti no ma wunya sika enti wo be pam no anata so wodi abante nia na pam no na election ba ya yesen kale no Messi san ka bia wan Laporta ebe fe no kate so the next election no person context anti ohiale no Messi support kwabna yesi wan Laporta anya saade no emom the other side ano ma fellow no Messi so me hiane support anti yesi the next Barca presidential election na ebeba so 2026 no nipa be dia no so manyanya the winner aye Lionel Andre Messi anti no ye reporter efiri Barca kate edi eba ewo dwumade so na no pay make take kakra edi ama wachicha wodo nyina so away from that no ma men komanim kakra na men konkodi dwuma o Madrid na uko Madrid akate a at the time nsaka say answer part to say Madrid game on bebo no anopeya Xabi Alonso aganti interview na Central for out to Sunano Kakra Bisa and Samba Kunimino Abisa so signer we Huniama and some SCF the team near me Koyana one ni players no woman tem was Kwabana Adia Bako no say coach and in the staff you know Muji Tumpa said relationship very sincere so we new players in Abakabum number quarter players a bit Maba come as some 20 so big want no caso one opinion Tina di Xabi Alonso and near my harder. If I don't know, head and winners are emotionally be a kama after so any players didn't come your palm. And your besides, okay, killing Mbappe or tenor, Mbappe no sign and Comodiano, as it turn also Mbappe, the Yamian or Pesa Mbappe, as a Mogos or Crosswa, Atwasana or Bontano, were an excellent player. After a day in, day out, no, what also best supporter Bantana, one sweaty mania could now Abba Madrid, a Bobo Conemum, a Diabacopa, and I says, no. Come here, sir. Uhema. Matches no bebre anka opeso taso be squeezy nkaka na other players ni bi so etimenya minutes do no enso abona Mbappe is a pressure e pay so too much team etoda bia na onpeso be lo do bant ni bebre sa anka onya anka be verse na anka onu so etime ama ne ho so ahehan no ani openya ni jadi Xabi Alonso nkoma kakra wono so ade tudwa ani ebisa so okay me sa winning finish Vinicius Junior case no akwa ko sise no so no kwaye no akwabena o say no wan say Vinicius Junior this statement ebeba bonte a wono ni din enim enti o so wan hu ni din wo mna ya no wan ye pa because na no Wednesday wano Vinicius Junior any entire team nyina na sia ana mo ye meeting ana asumdwe ba enti ana kon dia apart from that onim say bibia to etwa akwa ne abante ni problem bi enti say empower abante ne beba bonte na anka what the statement about bonte say na centrofo bi say adan ana ne din mo so no kwaye no wa wonim jawizi wen cha abante no amfa the din enso ama but you know no eya in fact say na efiato bibia ya kama one is Vinicius Junior many problem bia wono player na say we coach in fact on any to the players win ye pa as the players no we person mo so enya good mood na tem ya dabia do mo so timi sia kan edema ne team na ne yankoba kakwan so a we panyin adiba e wo dwumade so na no pay ya ka kire ediama na Anslot head coach edi Emma Liverpool kwa no so di nkoba kakwa ye kobi san say sign and focus ne sitia we yes yansa ki o ye pamo na o contract one say yes no pesa manka mi be minim say ye dia mu baby sasa asem no what's yan kamo bi anta say enye content wa asem na odwene ho ni focus say we di Liverpool be ba winning ways na Liverpool afa ne ntoma pa e dey fa contract kwa ho asem ho enye ho no mbeka no e bia kire ho anom be di san commenti contract asem dey vat ni focus say Liverpool team no e be jana na mo so ni e be sasa ne boemu kakra injuries no say na si che no so e no da Abranta ni din ade Ryan Gravenberch trainee emom ade say okay Alexander Isak Anna Jones na tell say omunso Anthony Anthony Egwamna who body egwadi mu Anna tell say omunso almost that training to know problem here no but the players ni na 100% and has 99 fit na almost so eboa Liverpool boboko no and then here reporter to ja oduma dey say down up no e dey have the 3B e dey da kwabla bibia na e dia ba me na anka me friends ya bibi o so bibi sam dey ja obi sam anka na meti media ma bibia ni ho so dia
oh na dey bibia
ni ho
na dey o wan say o say kro match juma no
baso
ene baso
okay
program na aka ho asama vibe 2 weeks ni no o say krom achi
okay
na anwumre 6 pm Ratri Park ya ene admedi no baso
ene mu be de
Jibad our town
okay
Samson akoku smoke enso our town so me catch us musicians ni bi ho no ma yedom besie ye be surprise and you be dwumadi say wo ha wo say o ma be gina
ba kunso ayi
na we pie ho na say I surprise the abo bia
okay
enti ahun sam no ahun senti anwumre 6 pm ana dwumadi no ba so our Ratri Park enti me say unya wo ticket na tonintam wa we na bia wo twan say wo twan ma 6 na bo maybe I call Ratri Park and hona too much. Tim so tonintam.
Say be call we weekend so Friday.
Oh yeah, say Friday.
Okay.
Just china na be dwuma.
Nya hwe.
Nti ye hani abra.
Na ya
mo gugu aka.
Ya man nkra.
Say o me nyi zoom. De mo frame na.
Say ja wake up you cry kwa sa na e be no. Nti Zoom presentation na.
Work out in the chichi. Adebu empenin for dia.
Eh Zoom presentation na.
Say eduru Togo no nkodibu anu ne ade a. Na ne fatiro mo ko.
E be duru onso ne mpemfo ne bi nso yade. Ne be be fa bia no. Be be ni afa.
Ati
mpemfo ne bi eti yade.
Mo fa baby.
So afa ho adwira yeso afa e ho adwire. No person di peyinsam ye.
I see.
Na du ona yade abesi den no akọ.
That's fine. That's fine.
No I don't know.
Eti from some osai koma chujumadi ne na eba so na 31st nti hye so na 6 pm na yinchia our Ratri Park ticket no makato was a standard 70 cedis VIP no 200 cedis and a VVIP no 400 cedis jumadi no because of say Rush energy drink and almost sponsor nti no auto ticket I do gate one no na yama Rush energy drink na so wonso atimi anom na akanya se na be adwumadi no kwa bibia be kama enso atimi edi amount ye honsam no na me di amount ya no ato ticket no me pa ticket no u penchire mu bia che me dia me dia ma wo ya na o pe table obi won say ebia ono family and eko some tenase na motimi agyemanini na no phone number 0542 461922 0542 na ode ato eye otikita ahonsam no eno no me pacho Uniat Practical Institute na ye koni akosua computer makacho so ye graduate na wunim computer mu a adwuma pa so obi ba fa office pa adwuma de I'm telling you me dem e kan okra kire on fa wunim ade de ba se say adwuma ya ne nyina computer ye adwuma ye bibia so obeha me nche ha computer na etwa ha hye na bibia ye bia the computer na eye it is a koba ne say computer no nim ho nim dia ebe den se ye ba fa adwuma enu nti na yini atese bra obekyew ama onso no watimi ehu computer nim obu a onim ni kakra ode bra unim bi nso kura obetimi akoyiniat na omo atwe omo courses ne nso de emu ye kama pa uwia benya adwuma enso etimi aye eba no network and cyber security engineering, computer basics and office administration, CCTV installation and management, data analytics, online business and e-commerce, design and technology with drone piloting, AI no crowd. We must course be omu yebiano. Omu che AI no edefra. Computer hardware and mobile phone technician in na yebetchew awo aya yenia school no so no said ya wa person ko be open regular obetimi akọ weekends wo ho enwumre na person ko an so akonya no eda ho na open a distance air class and so akonya no available free awo 0555 383848 yo kuma sesan so ya bus stop or your friend number na oyira yebema o direction no na onso wetimi the Stanbic Bank say men can chow say also obu ha Richardo mi fie nka say baby am say do mapem me business nkoyi kaminyo obi obema me sika kakra loan bi na nkwa support me na me de awie me fie yanka be kwa akwaje nanso asa na interest rate na osoro dodo tu be kwa akwaje sika no ahun si ho nkwa kakraka ni tu akra ya asem eno na Stanbic Bank say sa ade na aye dadwene a asa wo dwene obi obama obesia interest rate no wo from no aye omo a ode bra eno mo metra se na yama loan interest rate no wo from papa enti hu no kitikiti ade be kasika na abeje no se o pesika de akotoka o pesika de awie ufie so ho o pesika na wonso atime de akere wa hye no aye Stanbic Bank and I may come for more at the amount and the anno pesa quay and I'm on cotton so branch be a occurs which I would say memra na mamma besia so na me so memfa cotton machine and maybe be a enkoye emfa amantim so o dream say there a beba reality so na se bibia kama and so etimi at the amount and the anno pay ade yentino me pacho mame and come for a dream Emma Recon Royal Enterprise omo ene de eye rekon heba meshano ade aba eye dwaso koku ena eha wo mepacha usisi ya ena eye ya hunam nina no pay o sorry eye ya oyo oba na wutie me okwa afichira sabe unya amensisa na uti pains amesrew kotobi na enom mepacha eye obra pressure no say yellow ana high obetumi atobi no anom oba na be ma wutie me awo ema me kamfo eye rekon heba meshano ena edi amau ena no pay oko promise ba Frediments obuase for Monko Time FM Oteke FM Adrebi o Kumase Sak Air Pharmacy Patase ona no sabetimi aka adrono enso ebi Bremen Pentecost thank you Jesus building him hot pan no mashe no enso am sabetimi aka eye sofo reconfre no 0244 470067 na muno eni komo me pacho CC udem CCO office on some account was a first impression ade hu hia pa oba beba them first day na owura wudemi wakonya nkoyi u TV kra so asayeti kopo edem on so kra no asa won che dem hu ade titiru bia esi dem ho obu na bam so na dwen so no betena kra obetwetwe ne ho so na so owura dem ho he blanket ne sen hey wallpaper wo de a design dem ho kama office wo bibia hyehyɛ yie konyan ne flowers yi so no say baby am ready nipa no or responsible so and into the first impression Alaska Star Enterprise and Adebema War Echo Panel, modern TV stands, TV air backlight, bedside air lamps, sofa cover, decorative watches, flowers, a hot door, out the best says, them no office, no Alaska Star Enterprise. And I may come for them and Yaman Dawson, or the Abianis, or the Ram, Kumasi, a doom. My sister, not your plugs, and my boss of one Alaska Star Enterprise. Now, so wait to me, and no more Akakudija. Yanyama wo from pa na papa nso me patro friend awo 0256 330075 enkan for Monko Circle Titolin ye ho mo ba enemo ebedi enkomo no kama pa mo ani na ho is social media no so no enipa no dodo na yo ma dwen so mo mpebre na omo from mo se scammers so se de ben na omubu nipa sa World Vision Foundation alone me patro fraudulent omo azanfo o ha no mabeka to so ye pese ma besia na won so de tete wa she nemo besia no me bibi kakra en service collection ansana ye disika no e ama patro omo azanfo omo yusu World Vision Ghana din na omo so omo de ma besia no World Vision according to them omo say omo ni momo ba bia enti obi asa ba me enche no ma posifo enche no na wanyu sika enso eni upenchire mu bia e che mi die amediama wi a no afre number yi 0509823962 na motimi edi nkomo no kama pa atimi edi ato aso maka cho se abroche fa mu tie dwumadie nyina sika no monfa 30% de di kan uni app no abo phone so a me patro country bia wo abroche bia no just download 30% app no awo phone so na sika bia wo de ba Ghana no won so timi 80% no na asende ne se 30% se ono mu ye adwuma yi omo enchemade da enti aduru se omo so chamade na ade no omo de chem ni nyina no ene se sika bia abesa ne dia ba bia no ye fan se for instance o se ne $100 ene de ba Ghana se da no enipa 100 a ye mo mo aye give back a reward udi bremu a $100 na o se de ba Ghana no eno 100% obesa sanini na back at the amount umpewe na pede enti abrochefo efi October di ko di musika ni nyina no tap send mun sanini na enfa ho na bibia enye kama enso enfa emamo mesam ye bewram na ye di nkomo ne di ama na nsembo ha ye ti groups bi na ya abrochefo se Ghana for no mun so modie na aduru ho enti se wutie me na opese wo betia a opese wo twa beta me ma number no o de send na high keke na yemfa onka group no enso eho number ne 0247 932805 0247 932805 o de send high keke na onfa onka group no pese wo twa beta na se won so no watimi akoka group no na omo edom betting course no tuma na wafa bi etimi edi etwa no kama pa yewie awo aye amwa automobile na makacho se oye car owner ana oye car dealer o de car sifura abruchire eba Ghana accident car me pacha odi oyi free tamahabo na odi si car no so fabra amwa ho esanse owo eye nimdifo a oma bene car sisie car no se dia ye bia amwa automobile ben kama ye be body works no kama ediama ye body works di wi a ye de awura yam big aye ovinim na ko spray kan kama ama car no aye fe car no se bia ne emuna tititi ni ade ye be ye lining kama ama car ni mu aye mono enti se wo Ghana ha na wutie me car no awianti ama car no ne kala kra no ahye ama car no se nye fe so mesra ko ambo ho ye be spray kama car no ye be spray ni kama ama onso no car no edumunyam atimi aba ho bronyan so sisi car no so so ba bia de be ko bia no bia enso akoye diama omo awo apem so amo awo apem so first junction me pacho de friend number 0244 465764 0244 465764 na one amo eni nkomo na afi on sisi car no kama pa emfa ema ano pay 10:49 omo ene afufo bi ka ho ena the Friday edition of Nhyira digital password join live our YouTube Nhyira TV subscribe na efa o message no ebra na yen kan fama ayala good morning how to say
oh me pa
edonya me ase
ze na Friday me wa
sure
Friday say na me pese you show no I am more of, how do I say it? The phone book
interactive. Yeah, to make me.
Yes, and I am not me me foreign time now me the analysis no. It dealing with common issues, and they are easy to relate because. And our China we be talking 4-4-2. We you can't too much. In Tiana Friday be and I know say sports no obi etia. Eya in the pakono obetimi aka say oh ade area mpa. Eya more of your daily life no more exists around us. Eya link with sports. Now rich and me be kind with incredible story otia it will touch you na the lesson a woman and say e be so cry and you'll be amazed me your story no from any pakra some no I almost cried. But material, no, rich, and my who said, a rest we are we own. Rich, the BRBTBS. The story of Emmanuel Adebayo. And then go for the brain, but and I'll say it. He is one of the most richest footballers on the continent. Oh, Scapapa. One of the most richest. Nansiano oye interview Super Sports. Omo frɛ interview omo etai show omo frɛ the big interview. Ana and the bakono interview ni busa say eh oni African players ni bi dinko wono so o Kudus number or party number or a lot of players number. Now, a time from no more, not because of music, because players him say he's 10 times richer than all of them. Rich Adebayo with Kapapa.
No, for him to say, oh no, or 10 times richer than Thomas Partey.
Oh, yes, also scratch your mouth.
And
then
Adebayo too rich.
Adebayo cash.
Oh, cannot is no.
Oh, cash.
Na nkrawa no kwadi adum bedi no asemu
again rich you one of the few footballers on more continent so o wa kuma papa o ya doye o yanko fo papa o huni pamobo anya shekra Ghana akra there so we can relate with funny face but rich Adebayo story no. There is a miracle to it. Adebayo say ya wonu Togo. Na baby ya wonu no. E Ghana ni Togo border no so pe. E ho no mati. Enti omo no say o Togo na oba Ghana no e just ona omo nanti no mo twa border no maba. Ana utie ni dina minchi every Nigeria. Enti Sawasho Adebayo, he is one of the unique emipa or a Nigerian background, Togo by birth, Ghana by association. Now Rich, this is the story. Who is a footballers? Omo do mona na babo. but ubeji ni say rich ye wo Adebayo no osi no so but bibia ne maame da so ka kire ne say oniya to 5 years na untimi nante.
Wow.
Yes. Enti say wo akra foforo or start say oh yeah say e dey e obepuje ne mu reach 5 good years Adebayo so no nante da. He couldn't walk. Enti dey are not from no oh yeah ni maame di na chini asofufuo ni nuro ni fa we twitwi no fa haba we dare no ehi fa no fa no koi omo di na ko get bia for 5 years on tina na so say da then obi recommended say omo fa ne mbra Ghana sofu bi e o Ghana obebọ mpaya rich also so omo be duru Friday sofu ni catch your ne maame ni say oboy se me ye de metimi aye bia e free Friday we by Monday so when timi anso ya nanti on nanti biem on timi nanti.
Wow.
Rich, when you are listening to him saying the story, you get emotional. Rich.
So I was
actually I heard your hammer, nay, bumpire, ye say, you're dying way. Still, untiminante. Monday, no paba. Adebayo untiminante. Na, unsa normally sa uko prayer camps na. Ayana sa asoye no wo ha. Omo compound e wa asoye nanim. So no sa ono nim de ekoso. Enti me maame mu wo asoye ni inside omo bompae. E na akra. I saw omo na tu asoye na abonti so say uri oni agodi a praying. Rich. Adebayo say the compound of the prayer camp no. Na chipe I am comforted to na uti se nkofo bobo ewo asoyin dan no echi omubo na ball no ati so bi abbo short na afawo no na beto asoyin dan no compound ho baby a oti na oria no which also who say encrade so who say ball roli na odi echi which I say by the time the bush for obi tie mu say mobana soye so onanti o no say na ball ni roli na obi echi no won who dey can then you got up the first steps as Adebayo Rich was to go after a footballer obi bo and krabi ba abeto the compound of a prayer camp ye na ball say be bomb pa say na be obetimi ananti na osi mami na wotie mu say mobana soye nanti no from aside them so follow to the congregation and the bush for no omagba so is o be bompaye when they go to the front of aside them who say ojinabo dem no everybody started to cry because omu wuda akwa ontimi nante only 5 years other so to form how and you say you say bu so aye bompaye amano tell cry ya do ni wona obi awa aside them no o chesi bo on no asoya odi bo ni chi Rich
miracle
I see from there and we start say ultimate to the steps and kakra enne enti baby o bi say no say bo the man nante so on no story no was it divine and I say he was destined to play football because a boy chino dia on the first steps and just you know when he became one of the most famous footballers we are seeing Debiano said they didn't cost we are saying and you koda Debia or Jim who says the story you know and it's so unique I was a meka some sana yes in same story na say which anopo a mini story be a be say ni pon cry than Emmanuel say the bio story no
yes nkitwa
and in the nine na won timi fa no ntino and no dey nya all ni sikali ni din any ni fame any ni be a was asase so
what in yaw 1995 our YouTubers so wow what a story.
Yes.
But really emotional.
Yes. What we have say oboa. So you have say the child to be ana but he says that is a story. 5 years no nanti. Now rich. Inti nine attention any the way you see Adebayo star striker lanky one. Rich, that is the beginning of who he is. And now we're not in for 5 years. And so we're waiting as sorry, and see, another Friday, you find say a crying. It may take long. If you are going to the best,
but then let you it will come. And yet, yes.
If you are destined for it, it will come. No matter how late, because we are the story.
No, I could have 5 years.
Oh, rich.
I could have won watch from Pano. Should be 1 year, and be a bad 3 months. Watch it.
This is a coin here. You get worried. Yes. No, I'm not.
5 years. One of the cast said, Banon and TV.
Yes. And I just say, the bush of food to few. It must be a couple. No, mamma, I hear from one for uncle. Ah, you're gonna, you didn't go to go,
baby.
Na ono ya unu togo asene mama di make a heaver or the next Nigeria Benin yedi we dare no for we sasa ne nai for we yeni say for we so na num for we so ni wunum for no koma we no mo mpaye ma no for no koma we no mpu no ya yeni bibia none of it worked time obia yin ni na obia so he is condemned not to work again no rich in the space of nobody there. And I'm sorry, so the bonnet. And by the time I'm crying, bet you more about not Ojinabona. And the whole church had come out to watch the miracle. And they were all stunned to see Adebayo. So Ojinaho and Ojinabona. Rich, that is the story.
What a story.
If you're the best, you won't cry.
Sure.
Not Yakoyanim. Now, Rich, Yakoyanim. Another interactive idea. Ti bese me bisa wo ni omo mo hwe e wo Nhyira TV no mo mutie nyina. Michelle, I will need your input e wo this Arsenal question ya me bisa yi. Which yabo 9 matches e wo Premier League. Arsenal e wo 22 points. And go for be say you are no more code your house and the league, and you just give you which up to super computer you now say this season say only trend na air course na you have about 38 matches every year no na Arsenal league with 80 points. Until this up to our final league table winning the high bar you are playing 38 games. Wolves, West Ham, Nottingham Forest, Donkor relegation. Top 5 according to Opta. Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea. Now the team Manchester United, Renfa. Opta say football league the number 10th, and I'm ready.
Hey,
aye. Any ano player on the ball.
Say I'm here to also through the Reviana. Yeah, but Nottingham Forest in the account. What do you have got to 10?
Yes. And see, there is Opta.
Or the Chelsea to say?
Chelsea 4th.
Opta computer.
No player. Opta predicted final table. Posted by Sky Sports and Opta. Ukoa, I think it is the first graphic in that Sky is here. Norwich, your focus is on Arsenal.
Okay.
Say, Omuno league in the top, the real one. No. And Obi Asio, Omubetimi Aji. And a supercomputer say, Ampa, Omo your analysis near both games in area, they will win it with 80 points. Which say if side is what didn't win Bebemua. I know the number of goals are Arsenal betting me after their winning matches, and how less they concede against the teams in the league. But which so far, and before we bless you, you did about Arsenal 16 goals no Arsenal, because 16 goals you know. Kakramine from open play, there can be a set pieces, and the Arsenal and Quantity, they have introduced a new subject and talks about set pieces near there. But which people say we should forget about the goals analysis for now on Arsenal. But they a team plan and say they've played 9 games, they've conceded only 3. If they say Arsenal betting here we need Premier League now, probably it will not be the number of goals on Beshe, but how solid are we defensively, you know, and they don't win your title now. Norwich, internal play me I'm so okay. Say if Arsenal win, not a defense in the moment we win it, then let's do a research in the Premier League. Team by an Ayabo season area, and what the most solid defense, and what is their record? Which you know where to turn to. 2004, 2005. Jose Mourinho's Chelsea. That team was solid defensively. About 38 games here, Rich, they conceded only 15 goals the whole of the season in the Premier League. John Terry, they conceded only 15 goals under Jose in 2004-2005. Now my question in here, Rich, your boss is in an area. You say goals and Arsenal be conceded with the only to see. Now for Enfato, Arsenal are conceding 3 goals in 9 games. Which this
so it means that on board 3 matches be normal concede back.
Yes. This Chelsea team I conceded almost first 3 goals. So the Arsenal conceded after playing 11 games. And the Arsenal about 9 games. I conceded 3. Which Chelsea team na yeka 1-7. Omo 11 games. And so we conceded 3. But so statistical analysis which say the Arsenal economy they are tipped to concede less than team of Chelsea. Whether it will be reality or not, that is the discussion I want us to have now. Because which in 2004-2005, over the whole season, number of goals at Chelsea conceding here now, it meant to say every game they were conceding 0.39 goals. Which as at now, so far Arsenal games no more any goals from conceding, they are conceding 0.33 goals per game. And the supercomputer they say Chelsea conceded 15. So Arsenal concede this same rate, which they will concede 12.67. Is it possible? Arsenal bet me break Jose Mourinho record no. William Timber, Calafiori, Gabriel Magalhaes, William Saliba, Mosquera, Hecampe, Luis Kelly.
The am Madrid Arsenal bet me. On say previously no. Na Arsenal problem here injuries. And so omupra, for example, Saliba mupra. No munchada ni
backup
nye. They say Saliba mupra. There's a certain Mosquera on the original to say Saliba and Pepe. So yama Madrid is a likely Arsenal bet me.
Which
and for them to play 9 matches,
concede 3
years.
Yes. And they concede 0.33 per game.
Very, very resolute.
Which okay Chelsea team na yes I record. And Machucho we say which team their defense. It's not just about goalkeeper the back line. No.
Yeah.
And the whole team ethics. Yes, the whole team. Awareness to defend no. And the man team yes I did. Rich. Chelsea 2004-2005 team no. From goalkeeper Peter Cech to the defense led by John Terry. Rich. There was leadership all over the pitch. And players are certain how committed are no here to Jose Mourinho. Any of the defensive awareness as a team, not backline pro, as a team, no. Rich, it was exemplary. And you could feel that similarity with this Arsenal team, Rich. And they are individual per individual. Until to two Chelsea players, no. For instance, for Saliba and to John Terry. For Edia Gabriel Magalhaes and to this Portuguese defender. Yes, can me because individually they are brutal. Rich when they want to for Asinko and to Calafiori is one of the like they were brute defenders who could be from but Rich, beyond the individuals, there is one thing that is similar with Jose Mourinho and the Arsenal team now. Almost commitment to play for the coach. And I don't know how work ethics no. Every year, our team are your friend Arsenal now, and you can compare Saudi and India. Rich, I told them you are now upturning the supercomputer no. Omu projections and bemu.
I know money be at it.
I told them you reality in the door. When you compare, I know there's some evidence assistance and there's a margin of error. But Rich, so Bibiako said the corner for Opta to say Arsenal will concede 12.67. Our record no Equator Chelsea 15 in the Rich, that will be something we'll be monitoring. And we also say at this point, the Chelsea fans will say they'll be dark. Yeah, they are not easy for to say
messages. Costa Zico say no, they can't break that record because Arteta isn't a defensive manager.
But not now.
He said Arteta will be 9 matches. I consider 3. Also now no defense.
But and
maybe I say normally any football no. There can't be a defensive Catalans will be I can't turn out to maybe Arsenal do be but like Ayala said
without the ball
how solid are you are
yes
and also
they are aware said they have to be defensive without the ball as a team
sure
and one way they do and yet in goal Conte Asian combination at two Debbie but the two team ethics you know and ready I am coming here.
George, I say Ayala, getting to the latter part of the season, that is where you see Arsenal draw. Draw.
Oh,
no more bottle games, no.
Okay. I understand.
And you know, be I didn't come and say yes, Arsenal team are very strong. Very resolute.
But Carter to stay through at the end.
How consistent
of course.
The season.
Of course.
I don't know, be added out to him.
Of course.
And in fact, I said this is about 50 matches.
I was saying
15. As I know who said, as I know, I Arsenal league, no.
Okay. But so we say 15 there. You want 9.
Yeah.
And you do 15. Say 15 there and I use by bed. By year December and the you are monitor and you always come back to this analysis. If Arsenal makes me upbreaking the record held by Jose Mourinho and Chelsea in 2004-2005 by conceding only 15 goals the whole of the season. Now, Rich, before I met Arsenal again and then Friday, and me say I'm coming out here. And come on, you can relate. Monsieur, I'm also on this video.
Sure. I trend. We have a rent you a smart.
Wangaza unya ya double.
Double, oh yes, smart guy.
Wako Piemo Paris, France. Na His Excellency, the President of Ghana, you are John Dramani Mahama. Eko Piemo ho. Na I think he was addressing the Ghanaian community, and Double happens to be there. Na yentimi voice in there, but uti asema na Double car. Double was talking about the academy all and acquire president befa so be bo mu academy no na omo so etimi ehwo heha omo which new video ya no problem am say okay and yes adia analysis bi am dia share me bag mu a che pa no and am ko fa ba na yin na ye di hu nkomo which me jindi say Ghana Yesubai ama a lot of your classical and elite examples are you bet nya for your youth football any mpempenso by this time sa examples na kwa kodu no ya nkodu because of Yesubai enti metie the double player anya shekra no which meaning say double C munche but what pass as was so come by so or yet projects or you bb me what which examples bear me person bo omo sisi ani bi na obi atia wo ka che omo so ayala do si radio so say asa wo ya ekoshini yes sir. If I will use an example, at least the person is no more. Maybe a title liberty professional, which say about youth football in Ghana. Any musica, nobody had it than the late Alhaji like that. See, young police players. I form crankra. Sikabo peche nobody has done it more than them. But which? The last time I met Mokosha Liberty Professionals game more than someone. Rich, a kakakre come soon.
Kind of.
Yes.
So when you full
rich. We have to say before Liberty, the news about was that club license as I revoke your license so more than someone because we will be Aqua today.
Yes.
We do want to say
Liberty Professionals.
Liberty now.
A ton players. Yes, Ghana.
Which player? Is it Derek? Is it Muntari? Is it Essien? Asamoah? They all pass through this club. Sika club way a share from you football. There was nothing to show for it. Not investment in infrastructure. And I was wondering, say, and I say, now, Rich, this lead me to where I sit down. Forget about the past. Forget about past. But Rich, Uber Ghana, say, employ be youth football is what try to do. Because and there's also youth football development. Any year, investing year, elite standard practice, a right to dream.
My commanding Suleimana. I'm a Kudus. I guy back on crowd say, that Rasta guy be Black Stars, Nazegra.
Yeah,
Calib.
Yes, right.
Top players.
Rich. Rich. No knows that information. You don't say forget about the past. More latest one. Second is Auburn first season we're talking about.
Sure.
West Ham Eton Kudus Emma Tottenham 55 million euros. Which FIFA member say a transfer be club now auto player. Sika auto player. You calculate 5% of that money. for player no training and compensation, and I said the friend solidarity mechanism payment to FIFA. So what it means is that West Ham Eton Kudus Emma Tottenham for 55 million, which Kudus the young training passed through a lot of teams, including right to dream from age 12 to 18. Which do you know, sir? Nancy Kudus every West Ham Akko Tottenham. Out of the 55 million, our West Ham Eton team friend Tottenham no. Which right to dream Nkwa for training and solidarity. And yeah, £2.75 million.
Training Nkwa no.
For training Kudus. They have evidence say Abanti between time will be 12 and 18. Yen 18. Sadi and Nkwa. And to transfer fee of 55 million, which right to give £2.75 million.
That's why we didn't right to dream to
me. Into Sanansia, what here? They are buying a new facility and they want to move the team from Akosombo or they see new facility craft from. Which Mekai, Tama and Sunyama. Every Nordland, a couple loan, our loan. No more so many permanent, you know. Right to do so, and if you must see a player, FIFA for the over player passport, no. Then there was a mistake. And see, somebody now making a case, which right to give any case they call cars. Sad time, you know. Leon and making move in a permanent 25 million. Right to give got over $200,000. Rich. And then secondly we enjoy what that in your blasters. Oh, I asked you not.
No honso magic.
The point I want to make is say there is money in youth football. Nancy, how can Unipa would be out of the car? Any true car, Ebony. Ebony, yeah. Rich. Ne can't go between me, no. Any play on the top. I'm telling you. Robert. I'm telling you. Nice car. There's a young guy, Nanado. Or a Salamo player. On the say what toy in bus, Abro, Mosisia. Okay. At least some Costa bus, yeah. Or more on qualified by Division 1. And it's so issue. The point I want to make NSA, which Kumano. There is a lot of talent, but near added value, near investing, near more returns, you know, and always be a problem. Rich Nancy, Thomas Partey, Atletico Madrid to Arsenal. Who is kind of anyone? Training solidarity, Tamayu to money. In Tala, who is kind of money? No for this guy. Enti ahomachi we so ya meti say ya odamo I catch a president say omumurani academy no so hiamu ano. My only problem was that they also need some sort of help, but a cutting across yenteni esu baby
mo just kana mo fanyi team
what say utu player no and I say player no okọ
no any 2 idea in pounds. That's who say now we are not catching our binds on for this camera.
That's the problem.
That
is the problem. And right to dream is not owned by Ghanaian. I have to Ben on there.
No, until Ayala. As of my National Academy.
You see,
she talent go waste go from her.
You see,
of course, I'm saying cronky to ma. I'm renting Bob, but
which you can do it. It takes a visionary president and then conform to the to say, look, your job on a private sector for no more. But say also you compete by say a national project. You didn't say you bet you and your son for so. Say you go new cocoa. You bet you invest because Where to give Munkwa should be enough an example. For how much we youth football here, Sika Obetinia, and the about foot.
Is there a crown of beach my address to say a dinga? A Cote d'Ivoire dinga. Or no, see a right to dream.
Yes, oh, there are a lot of players. Me, I was surprised to know, say, Eric Bailly. Eric Bailly. Yes, he played for Liberty. He was once a Liberty youth player. Eric Bailly. And see, Eric Bailly. Say, and there is a Liberty that's all. Every transfer be a way beyond. Liberty say, did solidarity or a show more connect among country beyond.
Clubs will move go.
Rich. And see, youth football in here. ACAC. See, yeah. That is where one major aspect. And
put here Olubo Commodore come on Babidia. I think I will link.
Of course, same time with the buyer.
Because Olubo is say Abetamo am Kotofomu Tony. Almost share you almost sign contract, share you 30%.
Yeah.
And some of the mom.
Yes.
For more work grand job.
Yeah, but
I want it to go radio. So but Olubo Commodore say unfortunately they are yet to hear from Kumasi and Tekotoko.
Olubo old school, you know.
Olubo Commodore.
Old school.
Olubo, no. Is it or no? The locals were Olympics, say. Hey,
Olubo, Olympics, over the age.
Sir, one I say, I'm in to be as Olubo and cry, you know, 50.
And you know, quite daddy back on the Olympics.
Okay.
We were there, you're going to Olympics. Now I'm around the club.
I tell for I know the bar a fear na ya be different common. If you common in the nano, you started from Kumasi Asante Koto. We are league matches and some kakra and you be doing come at the Amansana Yasawe. Na and come about near Baby dear Kumasi Asante Koto Kofa Brantia. Your friends Abetamwa Edini free Accra Gate Olympics. A brown call relegation over Johnny Kumasi Krobia Asante Kotoko. Abrante by in name some Abetamo de Yamianim Ghana, we strikers be numua, untimi mom diabra. Unfa Brantini di and can buy no penny deuce at the Amakotoko, and Untinano done a betuja. Say a fede, Abrante the Kotoko say Omujana Quine. Na Omodinama team from say a Ali Benghazi, Omo awo a Libya. Ebrana Kotoko ebo a Africa. Na en samo ba ye no me kai pa say ebra kotoko announce brand any transfer no on be ka say e undisclosed fee sika mo de to brand no omuntimi emfa entudwa e ma so be ka ade kyenye no ye de filabram ye ma mo breakdown sika brand na je de kotoko benya ade ni na nanumu anam say no Olubo Komodo tie show no say sika ba ene kotofo be je brand na ka to mo say sam to brand na your 30% on wall fee bia and second of fotua adema yen Accra Gate Olympics but adeye kodofo no mo ho Accra na eja Olympics e kakre wu no yakwa akodi yentie Olubo Commodore ebra o chechem na o se omonti Kumasi asano konkani na no na afi yenso de enim defense no ho yenka bi emfa enchemo Olubo Commodore.
Unfortunately, Kotoko has refused to abide by the contract. They were to inform us of any movement. They haven't done so, and up to now, they haven't told us anything. All that we see is the social media posts. So we don't know what's sold. We don't know anything. We don't know anything at all. Officially, we don't know anything. But yet we are entitled to 30%. It is not to ask permission. See, it is not to ask permission. We cannot say yes or no. All there is that, we have gotten the place for this player is moving to this area for this amount. That's all we are trying to get. This time, FIFA has been transparent. When you write something, you will be caught because we don't know what to do. But why should they be hiding this? They should have called the Olympics.
Okay. And the Olubo Commodore same circle for any person no me kana chichi. Na omdo mo nsa shebo ase na kakra so Olympics su ja won no. Ko for no fetch le na ese kwa. Omo fiska no na ese. Omo kakra na wu no. Omo ensa endimi. So omo sabe kakra bia no mo anya ni na. Se ko for no person ye ya. Enti Olubo Commodore board member at the Accra Gate Olympics. Ala.
Unfortunate.
Said on one kind, you know.
Yes, and no me quite make us say unfortunate.
Olubo is saying that.
Olubo minimum no. And ni dia o Ghana football mu what people know him for.
Amra. Oluboy to say, Miami Papa crowd is saying,
Hey, Blue Boy.
Blue Boy. Kofi Manu Blue Boy. Blue Boy be school you, Bano, football rana. Onimrebia. Onambebia, and Mrakano.
Very who say?
What deviatiana?
Oh, yes. Really, you got it so wrong.
Okay.
When you cry. And yeah, we do a lot of things, including education. And to reach ma, yeah, educate on this subject, kakrana and confontias ye. House I know my way here, Juma. Dedika, rich, and yano cred that. Say, Kotoko betimi, aye kululu, etia Olympics. Almost a kind of woman, and yano cred, intimate ponsi in modern day football, it can't happen.
Maybe a transparent.
Intimacy. Number 2. Rich, and they club will be anywhere a bit me under declare a transfer fee just because of statutory payment to be a one the bank for. Obi antimi yes sir. Enti me so say etiefo any ahwefo o matete bi pen. Say oh club bi aton obi am obi 2 cedis. But obi declare 1 cedi. Na 1 cedi no na o tietie ne ho sika no. Say na be obobo mu kro no. Say what bi da. And find serious. Enye ne. And enye no kre. Entimi nsibiem. Rich. Esa dream ene ketasihye yai. Ana FIFA introduce the DNA your friend transfer matching system. The eternity can TMS. Now Rich, transfer matching system. A intent video no so system bia FIFA accredit for obia we football bia member association any club bia ya register. Na senior year adwuma ne say obi a transfer between 2 clubs transfer ni mu nsem bia o magya tum bia no TMS system no ama ho kwan ama the sad details no ehye afidie nim
na 2 teams no mun compromise na say 2 cedi and 1 cedi
good nti say 2 teams in there compromise ayen sa that one is an unofficial information.
Okay.
But the ambassador can say, and yenye specific. Kotoko, any Ali Benghazi. Ali Benghazi si ombeso moto abeta moa. Kotoko si o ye beto abranti na ma. Enti, okay, si ebese ya transfer na ye timi ko GF ho. Ego kacho mu se o ya transfer abeta moa e di ama Ali Benghazi. Enti mu mano TMS. Mu issue ITC. And man no ultimate because Rich say a transfer player call be wa without the ITC and the ultimate mobile no.
Sure.
And ITC FIFA nyansem it is always issued by the federation. Say the federation will be aware say your transfer player we efiha akwa. Enunti Rich teams ni mienu agreement o maye player no wo mu no or a player bear contract sign how many years and oko sign for the new club sika sign and a club now or part no on the auto no agya tum se omubetia sika ni mpo no Rich payment plan method ben and omumi no agya tum so omubetia enti for instance and then say abet amu sika no Rich say Ali Benghazi for na agya tum say omubetia ni inchichemu miensa ni nyina be wo transfer matching system no so if even you agree to pay it in 2 installments 3 installments ni nyina be wo so enti enna ya na first no you see o Chelsea akoto player bi o say one na sign 8 years enti sika no obechichemu otwa 8 years Rich you go to the TMS 8 years no and I say 8 times from Chelsea no ni nyina wo so year 1 obetua say year 2 obetua say year 3 obetua all those information is in the TMS system. The TMS system no club biya I want there any ne password that's so. But the FA I want the password to club biya there. And unti say o fele u TMS ni wie. Na club no so tono. In this case Ali Benghazi also fele ni there we are. Rich, the Ghana Football Association will have to go through all the agreements. Now was certified so side transfer way me Ghana Football Association minimum will be enti me issue ITC and the ama abetamu say onko na onko bon the ball Emma Ali Benghazi for no Rich enti and me no ka say unim say ye ton player bia transfer fee na wo no the Ghana Football Association HFA wom 10%. And now me no ka say exclusively metimi a reveal at you say the Ghana Football Association actually their kotoko a demand letter say they are aware say kotoko aton abetamu and they are aware say omoton no ebuo say omo calculate omo 10% na ebuo say ento omo siro omo se sika ne ba
fast
omo fa omo e de emre omo enu nti rich na Oluboy Commodore na eni kwan say obe create the impression wa bontin with interview no ye and say kotoko betimi aye kululu na sika e wo no omu Olympics o omu hu de bia me kasa se mo rich club bia aye member of the FA enu nti say who contract with kotoko say kotoko abefa wo abetamu a and that's so mutona who on transfer percentage of 30%. Now what to say kotoko aton abetamu a the right thing you do is to go to your mother body and say, oh, Mr. Emao, this is my kotoko contract. Tamu beto abetamu ano. Now my contract in my year 30% on what transfer. Ya te se kotoko aton abetamu a. Enti muna mo ye FA, muna mo issue ITC no. Mo system ni mu a. Sika san and the system ni mu. Send your be as ye calculate 30%. Yes, you will see do a. Yes, you sabeka every transfer him. Rich say otrokoma every na. Na oho contract na odi dia dance esa ampa. Ona oton player ne ma akotoko. Na onwo transfer ne ewo mu a. Rich eyenhye e de ma efe ne say obebo wamane. So sika e wo system nim a nkofo ne betua makotoko eye sei. Na omuso metua ne that way until also 30% no. Say na be abetimi amonitor no. Say any information it here. Oluboy didn't need to do interview and speculate about social media because Rich you come where you masam kan obiti Oluboy say the wati antini no da kwesi abonte say oh Oluboy cross kotokofo ne akromfo and omo be so mo di sika ne kata so na sika wo so mo di mo Olympics entimi sisa. Okay, Rich me wie kra no I have also heard arguments. I am Kofoka say clubs and Kitwano. Nancy, omo bre na Olympics Grana enhunu one and a kwa bibire mo motete abet amwa. Omo training and compensation no. Omo so better no man husika no makwa akoji. Rich obi a woyɛ sa argument ni bia no. Sebi. Already FIFA mrana chakakra. Rich America krenie. Say na first Mr. Abepobi of blessed memory. Ebuama clubs HSC omo solidarity mechanism no. They say sad in a chum. Rich and na me no ka say FIFA ewo dear friend no clearing house ewo FIFA ho. Na omo dwumedi omudi nyina na say transfer bia akoswa. Omo na eye hye say omo calculate clubs are eligible for training solidarity mechanism. Na omo FIFA adiscano atuama.
Okay.
Enti na yenko kwa bibirem. Omo da hombeda. Say player passport of Albert Amua indicate say e was starting in the football. Na e was so dia Rich, they will not even have to write. FIFA will write through the FA and give them an email say mu player bet amwa mu training no within year way to year way why subject of transfer of this amount you check 5% I saw the training and mechanism na ebi a class at no ebi a mo nko a nti 5% ni nyina no mo ho na eba this is the amount of the transfer and you check 5% na this is the amount ya busa efe no omo si ampa adansidie na we system ni mu no no cresa nti ye hwe mo TMS system ni mu a mo account number ni mo bu bia hyem rich otiwa na kunkuron FIFA etia o training mechanism at the amount. That is how the system work. And until young come obi antiase. Send a be as a narrative ni be jai. No cre can no ebi na football mu krono ni ade ekoso pa. But young can say sa no man nti and FIFA den hye aba. Sa krono bone keta so say ene me ma we hu we ma we hu we no. Enye adwuma biem. Nti wote wo ba bia na waka so ayala mo achechire mu say sa de wi a okay enye no cre and intimacy into rich I think so Oluboy dey old school some so no old
open month we must know the people
okay say we old guy but Mati say oh yes I interview you know
okay
some people from the FA and some people even at Olympics achechire mu say olu akoma to yem na asama okay the intimacy
can enko baby
ya ke akoma to yem na
kabute we don black wisdom no and idio use ni wo YouTube no kabute I say Ayala this is Ghana don't defend them at all
so say your biggest problem has always been say rich
me baby I'm sure say sad in the base and na me o ka say unofficial
of course
because and there say FIFA ni ho
of course
and say two clubs in bit ever compromise obi abrante no say the but no dey enko declare say
my classical example
and they fine that one a bit messy
and say esia which yem fa ni nkomo enya dia beti megina so dia ka asembia
because no so mo agree
for instance rich Ayala FC Everton me play America Hado FC me buy no ana o se meton say na me so meton 1000 Ghana ana me so okay but 1000 Ghana na me no waje atum no on paper mommy 500 cedis 500 cedis na aka no Sokoban Fatilu na meton na maw. Enti 500 na aka me no mienu ntem no. Yen state say ye de ama Fatilu as ne sign no fee. Enti uti ama Fatilu a. Me club no, me ne Fatilu wa understanding say sika wo say ba ye ho no. Enu no bi na ye ti ama as sign no fee. Enti say o Fatilu so say club na ma me 600 cedis. As me sign on fee yeah, want to say 600 no. Emu 500 Ghana dia. But we are paying it through you. Then we declare 500 cedis our TMS system so that all the legal fees we pay it on that. Rich Sadio. Untimi mfa medin komon ka say Ayala FC
and FIFA go bear them no.
Exactly.
Because my agreement in FIFA ni ho.
Exactly. Enti enya dia you didn't come on a platform is a radio. Yeah. Because you don't have evidence it has happened.
Sure.
But the education is that whether we will trust issues and also we will trust issues. This is how processing here, Juma. And to be anti-me, may Kaibia, may Jirgogo be and paint to be black, say, obi do obisika. The system will not allow that. And it can't happen. We will forgive Oluboy because he is coming from the old school. And Oluboy na minimum rich. He's so honest. After granting the interview, no, see a church and mama amanati here and then I have now understood the process and as someone can no say me so bibiapo emfa ho.
All right, you're moving from Kotokone Abetamwa Olubo Commodore issue na and Ghana Premier League Monday 8
big game.
Bechem United any Nations FC
big game.
The Nations omutu coaches na Kasim Mengo ne Johnson Smith yapamo omo. From Monsoon won the first game in there at the Aman Nations FC. Now, according to Nations Aduma no, I see mission ban in the philosophy. Which is kakra na fi infamy game no. E komo kakra na infantry e ho emra. From Monsoon as I say according to Nations FC Aduma no. Yenti no.
If we look at the last 2 seasons, I think nations have always been fighting for the league. And just last season, it took the last 2 games for Gold Stars to win the league. That tells you how serious they are. So for me, yes, we've come also to do our part to make sure where the team has reached, we also try to make sure we make a mark here in nations. It's not too different. What I believe in is to always try to build a team that is strong enough to win a title, a team that tries to always play a good football, try to build from the back through the middle and then to the attack. But then I believe in a team that fights. Playing alone is one different thing. And also trying to also defend for the team is also another thing. You see, for me, I think football has changed a lot. And knowing how to play alone is not enough. But playing without the ball, that is the most important thing. And that is where we will also look at it critically. Because you can score, and if you don't defend well, you also concede. So we want to go on both sides, with and without the ball. And that is what we will insist. And we will emphasize for all of them to understand and get that concept.
Okay, and the new coach at the Nations FC, Yura from Pomansong, Mayanga, and now this comedy to just say. Team Nations FC now akwagye onim say enye team kitwa go be our follow Ghana Premier League ni bia the last 2 seasons omo ba close pass and Comedy League no last season kra there I think it took the last 2 games and now mo bottle league no mo team anye ento onim team no onim say team so mo team GBB and also on the philosophy no tell dia no pani edi hu komo ya osofo bo onye ne bo no nko a without the ball, it's very, very important. And the Wabaso will build a solid team at the Ama team from St. Nations. Wilson team, na league na Ludio Amono. Amon so a team at the crucial game between United.
Mayanga is one of the most experienced coaches I will be on the Ghanaian scene. Now, there is a problem with nations. I feel Omolusu quality Omolusu a lot of quality players. From Bema Ba to Prince Aqua.
Nhyira.
Omolusu na feel they lost Omome Foda Kasim to House of Folk. And these are players na Omukuta nations. And Rich, Team BNY Oton ni crucial players and also Olusu ni crucial players. Say the nations Olusu na, you will still be the same.
And you be there to become Chelsea no.
Dia, utim no ebeba from kakransa na asa sorry ebiem with o technical team and how new players no mabemu no ebe so ebe pick omo ho ball bonus and man. But Rich, even with that evidence, you know. Still now, the nations in paying for you to say they were good enough for baby and Omudano. And they were no master season. And until Omuja Kasim Mengo and Johnson Smith Quino. Say Omujitum, say Omalusu players be at no me crucial. But still now, Omasajitum say players now cow nations, you know. Omu is still good enough for start now, Munya. Especially on my last game, my boy, they won. Almost say Lagos City's team. They say Omudi they say they be
11 wonders.
Yes, almost share 11 wonders 3-2. But Rich, the main problem from the management they say 11 wonders this season. Akwa helping boys. Na so omo ba ofie wa Abrankese. Na omo team be say 2 goals. Now you need 3.
And
then it means that there's a problem. And the moment you saw Pamo Johnson Smith in Coach Mengo. Now, Rich, the Ama from Paul Manson first gave me interest in say. Since our nations by Premier League, on share Bechimda. In 2 seasons, no. Oko Bechemana Bechema Kosheno. About Bechemba Brankesa no draw. And tell face Edru time no obi aka say ana akase mengo no free bechem buy nti aso omunim ni too much rich say they won't even this angomo ni
sure
because coach performance so there say on free bechem and oba nations there is one thing bechem for must be careful rich coach Mayanga wa hacho but met me a catch no say America crane the pejani din pa and sample no the baby goes as Ebergy League was a juma wire with Bofakwata no in the same region. And it's a oral region where at least he knows around. On him said he became city. On him said he Tim's near Wobuno and in a half important one. On him said he was city. And it's a obeji jumedia for Frobi. Na expectation kakra one so. Now the first game is to go back to Babia. Rich, Nancy, a pigeon demand in your baby any job now. Rich, you can be rest assured, say he will go and fight war. Ewo bechem. Or a league log no. Baby bechem than you. You started season winning a bechem ampa. Only one win against Vision and Omanya. A lot of draws, ewo bechem ho. And Rich, say Oman pejo mo. Enye din Emma coach from Paul Manson. Say oba benya draw with nations enye dem no kra but uko be chairman now and come on mudi ni say a lot of former players are no more prepare back and they are almost some more fine or more rhythm and no more match fitness and omo gidi say ano tompuo wa woni power guest no kran so omo epeje omo homne so na omo sa say omo nyu omo rhythm and you uchu mutan oba bechem nko ade a omo de wachi ebeka fom nti amen na game ni very very exciting two teams are omo yanya edin say omo household names e Premier League ni mu a omo start of the season ni enko ye ma omo na obi afato no say probably that game we could be the turnaround for omo team and the man in the game no e very very crucial nti Rich yebe pass bi but
adie bi of football ma say en time man ye ni nko but e adwuma pa wo the new manager bounce no I say team bia sesa ne coach a game obekwa akobo no I don't know say other players now will be a position of the to different performance graph from the team no ma kwese
na as from afufo bi bo for team nim
and only adie ba ko say be chim hwenie
yes and from afufo bi
there's a new manager bounce.
There's a new voice. Players no they've been consistent with voice.
Okay.
And then a different instruction is different. Every part coach no buy no. Ono say be on for one and be one and be more. Need the say mesuma ba me and wow be fantastic.
Prove me wrong.
Yes. And to prove to me say we are committed to me meduma na mbabe you know. So we are sad am do bebo. And Rich adie bia ni a BT players a we are committed on the pitch.
Sure.
No de ne nan si no de ne ho to adie no so na okwa America extra na oye obi adwuma ma no just to catch the eye of the new coach say wo pe mo a o metima committed to course fa me to book nim na enemy nya adwuma nti saade no na ya na edi saa honhom no eba club a change the coaches no nti eye complicated analysis. Bechemu bo fie omo nyaade they want results team ade bia omo show in the last 2 seasons even including the FA Cup 3 wins Bechemu against team friendly nations so see your assistant coach he say nya kase mingle na munim na mo hye ne bia mu no nti enso betima ye bibi na Rich anopo na me busa me fentwato on say Bechemu start na nye and uko Bechemu a omo wantie bi say aso coach is an ombo. Rich, must they go back to their love?
I think so. Kase Mengo no mo wa. That bond is
super. Se results no anko se ne Bechem for ne pa.
Likely on be consider no.
Likely they will say look
because me ma ko Bechem pay. Oni Bechem for ni din koma. omufu say Kasim Mingo is the man.
I say
team na fan.
Yes.
Onim team no.
He's a right
Oye sa ko otisa samobodu. Team ko grounds ko.
Yeah, onim omuni de rom si omuni oma. And I was considering say two things. It is either Coach Mingo any Joseph Smith any frimpon man so be bonsa ho.
We ko na we.
Say we have nations so so ko baby any because baby any yan name coach and na say at any game no. Maybe I decide and say
yes, Uncle
Mingo there or he was good.
And he's good.
Yes, Sikasam the man coordination. And so I saw by available yes so no man ko ye my ear. Yanko for be only me system now umbrana on my humidity and there's a lot of things at stake and I hear when you say it to me at the game.
Yan first run be my answer commanding and engineering training school. My catch out say also we Juma our mining sector and construction. And one answer commanding and engineering training school our Boise Zongo. Omo high and building a chuan mo per 3 months. No be your course no so you check dump trucks say they operating on bulldozer, excavator, forklift and no say nam no be din komo obi a watena US pe on say forklift there. US woni bia enya asem kito kra so enti ubetimi kra kusua bi na de tukwan akoboni krom na say won so de akoye wadwuma obenya sika bibiri what name fabrication and so no etie for obetimi akwakusua bi within 3 months na say bibia kama at the amampacho your number ni your friend now so be 0539 732 766 your host akasia pa wa ufre chichi ba obenya baby duty ato na onso wa besua wa de omo na afufo pika won ye twa ho abasi a
menu se wo twa ho aba na oba ene betu coach ho
okay
nti ye de betu dwa
no problem
nti me se amu twen coach for
Friday bisa code no
eba nti
Edini free Accra Gate Olympics ebra mo call relegation no be journey Kumasi Krobia Asante Kotoko Abrante ba e na anim sem abetamu ade nyamianim Ghana uyi strikers be numu a untimi mom di abra onfa Abrante ni din enka wo ba enso no pay ni dues ade ama Kotoko enu ntina no ada na beto dwa se afede Abrante no Kotoko se omuja no kwan na omude na team from say Ali Benghazi ewo Libya ebra na Kotoko ebo Africa na ensamo ba ye no mekai pa say ebra Kotoko announce Abrante ni transfer no ombeka say undisclosed fee sika omude to Abrante no omuntimi emfa entudwa ema so mbeka ade kyenye no ye de Philabram ye mama breakdown sika Abrante na je de Kotoko benya ade ni na nanumu anamsa no lubo komodo tie show no say sikaba ani ekotofo beji Abrante ne ka twom se sam ton Abrante na your 30% on wall fee bia ekotofo tua ade ma yen Accra Gate Olympics but ade ye ekotofo no mo ho wakra na eja Olympics e kakre wu mu no yakwa akwaji yentie olubo komodo ebe a o chiechem na ose omonti kumasa sano konkani na no na afi yenso de enim de fa asem no ho Yankabi Alpha and Chemo. Olubo Commodore.
Unfortunately, Kotoko has refused to abide by the contract. They were to reformers of any movement. They haven't done so, and up to now, they haven't told us anything. All that we see is the social media posts. So we don't know also. We don't know anything. We don't know anything at all. Officially, we don't know anything. But yet we are entitled to 30%. It is not to ask permission. See, it is not to ask permission. We cannot say yes or no. All there is that, we have gotten the place for this player is moving to this area for this amount. That's all. We are trying to get this time. People are being transparent. When you write something, you will be caught because we know what to do. But why should they be hiding this? They should have called the Olympics.
Okay. And the Olubo Commodore same circle for one person no me kana chichi. Na omudo mo nsa shebo ase na kakra so Olympics su ja won no. Ko for no fetch na ese kwa. Omo fiska no na ese. Omo kakra na wu no. Omo ensa endimi. So omo sabe kakra bia no mo anya ni na. Se ko for no person ye ya. Enti Olubo Commodore board member at the Accra Gate Olympics. Ala.
Unfortunate.
Said on one kind, no.
Yes, and no me kwade me ka say unfortunate.
Olubo is saying that.
Olubo a minimum no. And Nidia or Ghana football mu. What people know him for?
Amra. Oluboy to say, Miami Papa crowd is saying,
Hey, Blue Boy.
Blue Boy. Kofi Manu Blue Boy. Blue Boy be school you, Bano, football mrana. Oni mrebia. Onam baby and I'm cano.
But Rich, who say?
What Dibiatiana?
Oh, yes. Really, you got it so wrong.
Okay.
When you cry. And yeah, we do a lot of things, including education. And to Rich, yeah, educate on this subject, Kakrana and Kofontias. House I know my way, Juma. Didika. Rich, and you no credit that. Say, Kotoko betimi, aye kululu, etia Olympics. Almost a day woman, and you no credit. Intimate in modern day football, it can't happen.
Maybe a transparent.
Intimacy. Number 2. Rich, and they club will be anywhere here, a bit me under declare a transfer fee just because of statutory payment to be a one the bank for. Obianti me yes, sir. Enti me so say a tier for any other for or much to be paying. So, oh, club will be at home, will be 2 cities, but I be declare 1 city. Now, 1 city, no one old church and who's can send a bit of a boom chrono. So, what to be that?
Cassiano Abraham Yabaya, as usual. Na Obra at one Jumediano, and so to us or him, Benewani Timino, and the outdoor Nasam Kitokra, I didn't seminal, and so at me at the Abrayala, Yanko Betway. Na yenin komo from Betway na fe yemfa kusuno emma yahwefo ne atifo na yen sorry okay mama here say metimi atina say na mama ya me sample first code no ye BW1D59019F any first code second code no ye BW1D59271 and the last one the third code no BW1D594FF7 I know any 3 codes are a day emamo and obi anko twebi utranso no twan betwe because ni na betwe codes
betwe codes na the entire share betwe codes ni say obi a betwe influencer
sure
and say the bia catch on and one say ubeko betwe platform no so on sign up easy bra never sign up never join betwe abusia no o join ya enipa bebre and e ho betwe rewards for ho omumbe boost o us at the amount on be a quick cash out just say bibia o pebia o betting company ho bia no betwe at the amount emroso kra na de du twam ene say de betwe de aba obi ani bi e bet influencer no betwe say she shall bet e o betwe o unique code na da bet ni so no o de share with o betting community more now mo do code no etwa bet no more na and so o this umpe we na opede undi 18 years am sure onka sa betwe enkomo ayedi eho so we di 18 years nso so na o beti am sure e ana wa beti e wo nyansem enfa rent ene osika aka obotomu a odi bedidi enfa enkotwa bet eno ene e friend bet responsibly no na betwe de wa wonim almost get way more.
I was afraid from Sia.
Are you Besrayo?
Are you bra na? Na sam hu na che pa. Are you?
Yeah, football blogger about Papa one.
Chairman, na bi aboko de. There's a way you to nkache.
Boss player no cre me comedian school kakra.
Okay.
Un say na me tonfo so top high.
Sure. Onyema so de na efe.
Enti em say na manage
agudi no
nti me imagine say me create bibia ma me ho and on TikTok no na me promote 2 players ni bi na ade and then also so am motivate me ma me dia co school ewie sisi my attachment ni ade am pese right now no na me adom nso asafo power skill and tria asafo FM omodi amanu nti se me na me pandit wo
oh nice
tina wo se me ba me pay for mo na asena me ba gini bia kakra ne ade muhu mi anaboni bia
oh nice eni mo akwaba ye bon pan so de ma ho se nyame be gina wachi na wetimi aye adwuma ne kama yes so say blogger kan ho
patran no me social media handle no Facebook
handle ne say
IUTV
oh okay
and YouTube no so IUTV 11
okay
yeah into TikTok no so me ayu Kofi Philip
okay
and I'm me so IUTV
okay
and I'm so ayu Kofi backups.
Wow.
Ni na ya ma we handle it.
Was ayu dinu so dey. E dey bia Ghana e ko kapo.
Yeah.
Ba ya la you family say amanfo nim say ayu ni me fan with da you. Eye me di ankasa me documents be bia.
Ba un relate to omo.
Me relate but na me papa you be ope abedi pelas
no do oh nice
inti I think
dina ne do nam
na me do bako ni say bibia be kama you wish all the best so all right the chief Red Masia enko fa do kase no nyame adom o chena no nkron yenum be hia akram
aye bru